Welcome everyone to our Water Polo at Home series. Today I'm joined with Aussie Stingers head coach Predrag Mihailovic. Join us as we talk all things water polo, Tokyo 2021, the Aussie Stingers and how he's keeping his squad motivated at the moment. We started off with where Predrag found his passion for water polo.
Okay, I will start from opposite, where my passion starts. I think I'm born with water polo, so I started water polo when I was 8 in water polo club Partizan School. In those times, water polo Partizan School was one of the best schools in the world, and there's a lot of famous coaches there: Nikola Stamenic, Ratko Rudic, Nenad Manojlovic, Vlah Holic, who was established actually Yugoslavia. In that time was Yugoslavian style of playing. So I started in that school, and once I started, I just started. It becomes part of my life. Yeah. So I started in Partizan when I played there. My professional career started when I was 15. In those times was that we signed contract with 15, and we started to roll from there. Finished in Partizan when I was 21 too. Thereafter, I spent playing 4 years in Montenegro under different coaches. Then after Montenegro, I played, I think, if I remember well, 2 years in Italy. It's very interesting, different style of the game, different coaching structure, different mentality. Then after I came back to Serbia and played 2 years in water polo club Niš. In those time, Nenad Manojlovic was head coach of Serbian Yugoslavian national team and head coach of water polo club Niš, which we started to build, and there was a lot of good players in that time who were younger than me. I was already almost 30. Finished in water polo club Niš, went to Galatasaray to maybe play 1 season because I felt that my career is coming end. Body started giving the signals, and then without planning, I stayed in Galatasaray for the next 7 years. But I started to be coach.
Tell us about the transition from being a player to becoming a coach. What was that like? And what were some of your challenges?
I have really big support in Galatasaray club and also in Serbian national team because I was started working also with the junior national team. It was born 93 in those time. But transition was strange for me because actually when I was finished my playing career, I didn't have big ambition to be coach, to go in higher level coaching. My ambition really was to work with the kids 8 to 10 years. But then when I started to work, somehow this changed, And I remember when I became the head coach of Galatasaray, my biggest challenge was then I have to cut from the team my good friend who I was playing with him. So this was my really big challenge, and it was a lot of nights not sleeping. We are still really good friends, but this was really big challenge for me, and I will never forget it.
I can understand. You mentioned that you wanted to focus on coaching the younger children coming through the ranks. For coaches that are coaching juniors at the moment, what do you think are the most important skills that coaches of juniors need to develop?
I think also really depend of the age, but if you're really speaking about young kids, which I'm missing, it's really how to approach these kids and get them to start to love this sport and enjoying and find the passion in that. When you become junior coach, I think a really important skill is that you can recognize talent who can represent talent in those kids that they can go on higher level. And this is skill which is upgrading every year. And I have a really big respect for junior coach position because they are doing hard work and sometimes it's not always on the scene.
And also on the juniors again, yep. What are some of the aspects that you look for when identifying talent coming through those teenage years of the juniors as they come into the national programs? What do you look for?
Yeah, a lot of coaches will tell you, is the size of the players. I think this is not first thing which I'm looking. Size. I think physical aspects. I'm really looking how they are moving in the water, how they are feeling in the water. So it's changing direction slowly, pace of the game. Another very important for me, it's once they are playing, whatever level of game playing, how they see the game, sense of game. And third, passion. Yeah, because I think passion, without this passion in this sport, it's hard to go through because it's not high professional sport. It's not. It means that you can earn some big money from this sport as a player, and you cannot live from there. And this sport is asking too much. Not asking, a lot of is asking. So it's 8 hours, 9 hours training, a lot of traveling. If there is no passion, you cannot go through.
And talking of passion, coming back to your current team, obviously you work day in, day out with a passionate group of girls in the Aussie Stingers team. How are they doing with the setback of Tokyo being delayed until next year?
Yeah, look, I think the time when was this uncertainty, will Olympics be stay on or keep going? You know, this was the worst time. So for all of us, especially for athletes, once decision was made that Olympics will be postponed next year, I think that we put our team's value, team goals before, and as individuals, and that this motivate us and push to go forward. I think I really believe in our team, and I think these times are not great times, of course, but through these times, I think we as a team will get out stronger than before. That's my personal opinion.
And you talk about the common goals. How do you work on developing those common goals with the girls individually and as a team? How do they come together?
It's a good question. It's a question that it cannot be done in one day. It's really one progress that we are on the same page, that my individual goals as a coach are fitting in team goals. And same is for individuals, team players, so that we need to give what we know best in benefit of the team. So team is in front of us individual, and we are just feeding this puzzle as best as we can. This is also coming, also question that, personally me as a coach, I have what I learned because I was traveling, all around the world, working all around the world. And what I learned through this journey, that my preferable coaching style or playing style doesn't mean it's best everywhere. So you have to see what players you have in front, what is their mental stop, what is their ability, and according to this, put your coaching philosophy that take out best of the team.
And you talk about playing style there. Obviously, an important aspect is for the players to make decisions when they can't hear the coach. You're one of the quieter coaches on the deck. How do you develop that skill in your players to make the right decisions without the coach's advice at the right time?
I think this is going through sessions because we need to put in front of athletes they are solving problem on the training, and how they are solving problem on the training, so it's to not become robotic. If I become robot, then it's hard to make any reaction what I see in front during the game, because there's so many situations, and we are trying to simulate these situations, but leave the players to make decision, leave the players to make mistake, leave players and create an atmosphere that they are comfortable to be uncomfortable. And this is also developing progress that is becoming trust between staff, players, that we are team, and that coaches are staying behind their players when it's a bad time. It's easy to stay behind when it's a good time. Yeah. And then my philosophy is also that players, when it's a good, players really deserve whatever they have done. When it's not bad time, coach should take responsibility, and that's how I'm thinking. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier on that you were lucky enough to do a lot of travel and see a lot of great coaches and great teams in action, as well as your own playing career.
Yeah.
Are there 2 or 3 coaches, or are there coaches that stand out to you that have been mentors of yours as you've come through the ranks?
Yeah, I didn't have mentors. I was coached by many coaches, and coached with a lot of good coaches. And what I found out, that really I was always trying to steal something from them, which is, I believe, is good. And still I'm trying to steal it from the players on the training. When I see something, I'm learning every day. But I didn't have that this is my, this is my mentor and I will try to be like that. I'm really trying to pick up good things from all of them and try to combine something which we can call, is it my style or whatever. But in current situation, because what I believe, what I think, because the results are showing, but it's interesting through their history. That's of course, obviously, Adam, coach of USA women national team, that he had great results. But also we can remember that he started as a coaching as national team. If I remember well, it was 6th or 8th position on the world champs, and then after slowly he built. And where is he now? Another coach which passed through similar situation, it's Serbian men's national coach Dejan Savic, who took also great national team, but first world champs was similar, between 6th and 8th position, lot of critics, and then slowly he established and get where he is there. I think this all showing what we mentioned before, that it's they step up when it was the hard, and they're able to step up. And also it's interesting, this situation is going also through competition. I'm just regards last Olympics, if Serbia was gold medalist, but looking at the situation in the groups, if you remember well, there was mess around. So Serbia, like a winner of the gold, in that time nobody said, because they were losing some games which usually they were winning or they were favorites. And how this team, including the coach, step up, and then when they get out from the group, go to quarterfinal, semi-final, final, and then win the gold. This is, I think it's going to their history of coaching and every day, and I like that.
And you talk about stealing things from other coaches, which I think is a great philosophy. What would you encourage those coaches coming through the ranks? What should they be stealing? What skills should they be stealing?
I think you're just following the game, following the reaction of the coaches, and what you can implement from there in your team that can be useful. And we shouldn't be, that it's my idea, it's best idea. No, it's not mine. There are some people smarter outside, and we can use this. So a lot of things, for example, because I change philosophy, I adapt my philosophy to coach best as I can the stingers. Usually I'm defending coach. Now I'm making characters. I'm now forcing for attacking. So a lot of things I look, for example, Croatia men's team and how they are defending, aggressive in everything, and I try to implement this in our style of the game. So that's one example. There are lots of examples.
Yeah. And also tell us a little bit about the difference between coaching female athletes to the male athletes.
As I mentioned, I came to Australia. I didn't mention actually. I started coaching Cronulla boys and Cronulla girls team, and slowly start to be like assistant coach or higher coach for ANSYS for the women program. And then I found what is a huge difference, and I found passion for the coaching the girls. It's different approach to the athletes. It's different reaction to the athletes, and a different way how you should coach to take best of those athletes. Totally different mentality and different wave. Yeah. And this is really giving me motivation, because this was something new for me, because before I was coaching some boys and I found it very enjoyable. Of course, there was other parts which are challenging, but I think this gives me energy and give me motivation to explore more and to enjoy with coaching the girls.
One final question. Obviously, You've been in Australia for some time now.
Yep.
How have you seen the development of the Australian Water Polo League, and also how have you found the Australian Youth Water Polo Championships that's been conducted over the last couple of years?
To be honest, it was, when I arrived in Australia, it was totally new for me, different, totally different. It takes a little bit time to understand it, take a little bit time to understand the mentality, personality, and what is the best for this environment. Our environment is unique. We are far away from other countries which can easily make sparrings and learn from there. I find out that we have really huge pool of talent, A lot of kids are joining water polo. Is it through swimming? Is it because of beach? There's lots of beaches around. I speaking for women program. I think there is a lot of good pool of talent that is giving me confidence that there is really there is big space for our improvement that to go forward. Regard the youth championships, what you mentioned, I think was great. I haven't seen in Australia so many people coming for the games. And I think it's a great organization. And I think good combined that also seniors team came there, so the young athletes actually can see what is in front of them could happen hopefully in few years. And I think it's a great event. And I think adding more countries, other countries to join there, is it through juniors or through seniors come bring other countries, will increase popularity, and it will be very beneficial for us.
Thanks very much for your time, Predrag. I'm sure the water polo community will greatly appreciate your insights into our great game.